Hello students, welcome to Massive Open Online Courses. I am course coordinator for the course on state and local governance, machinery and processes. Today we have another important theme of the course, that is the district collector. Under this theme, we will have 3 talks. The first talk will deliberate on the evolution of the office of the district collector. Although in an earlier talk we have discussed it by giving due emphasis for the British period or the British rule in India, how it has evolved in that period, rather it was institutionalized in that period. But today we will discuss the evolution or the historical background, not of the office of the district administration, rather we will try to keep it on the district collector. Obviously, we will also try to narrate the meaning of the district administration in the first talk, along with the significance in a very brief manner. So, let us start our first talk. Since ancient times, the administration has been considered as a bulwark of flourishing society or the well-being of the society as well as the progress of the society. With the changing time, the development and growth of society rests upon the pillars of democratic decentralization, especially with reference to the context of the holistic development of the community. District being the functional unit of local administration has always been the central tenet of administration, both in terms of as a governmental machinery for running the administration, as well as it is a platform or the level where the people participation for action can be ensured in more effective manner. However, with the changing dynamics of the society, there has been a transformation of the role of the government. It has not remained as a welfare state or the provider of the services to the citizens. Rather, it has acquired the role of the facilitator to the society. Means services are to be provided by the different kind of the actors, and including the private actors, and the government is only providing enabling environment so that those services can be provided to the citizen by any kind of the actor, maybe under the public-private partnership, maybe by the government itself, maybe by the voluntary agency or the non-governmental sectors, by the private actors. But the manifestation of this office of the district collector has also undergone drastic changes. To suit up these changes, there have significant emancipation of the hierarchy of the office along with the mobilization of resources to match the pace of a globalized society. This compendium of appurtenances working to achieve a desired outcome has been coupled by the paradigm shift of the institutionalization of the Panchayati Raj institutions through the 73rd, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. Thereby, in the ambit of the above mentioned scenario of the Indian democratic structure, an attempt has been made through this lecture or through a set of these lectures to study the functions and ever-changing role of the district collector to suit the changing connotations of the society. We will deliberate on the meaning of the district administration. We will deliberate about the historical evolution of the office of the district collector. We will discuss about the functions and role of these important officers since the British days and even before that one. In this lecture, let's first take up the district administration. What is it? The basic avenue of field administration in India is a district, which amalgamates the comprehensive sphere of administration and management of public affairs, with its viability providing a totality in the appurtenances of public administration. Therefore, a district can be rightly termed as a geographical units comprising of certain administrative structures created by the state government for administrative convenience. The officer of the Indian Administrative Services normally in his 4th or the 5th year of service is appointed nowadays as a district collector. Rather, it is different from the pre-independence days, wherein the member of the Indian Civil Services, popularly known as ICS at the time, were used to be appointed after 12 to 15 years of their service. Also, at that time, there was no special training required for the officer before he or she used to be appointed as the district collector. Moreover, at that time, the incumbent was usually from the state civil services or promoted to Indian Administrative Services. Since because of the experience, the officer becomes quite mature and experienced one to handle the dynamics of the office of the district administration. Therefore, that kind of the training is not required. Even now, there may be certain officers which are promoted from the state civil services, but after about 12 to 15 or more years of services as an IAS, and they may be appointed as the district collector. Otherwise, normally the IAS officer or the members of Indian Administrative Services are appointed in 4th, 5th or 6th years of their service to the district collector or the deputy commissioner. That's enough. After introducing about the district administration and who is likely to hold the office of the district collector, let's take up the historical perspective of this office or the evolution of this office. Although districts are termed as the initiation point of the sub-state administration since ancient times, yet district is considered as the basic territorial administrative unit. Therefore, there has been continuity in the usage of district both as a phenomenon and practice. During the Vedic period, or as per the Manu, who described it, although the name district was not there, there were the villages at the time, it has been considered as a tool of general administration to the Mauryan kingdom, wherein Vishas, that is the subunit of the local administration, is considered to be a level which presently we call at the district level or the district administration. Manu, in his code, described the villages as a tool of general administration to the Mauryan kingdoms, wherein Vishas, that is the subunit of local administration. And in case of others, as for example, during the Gupta Empire or Sultanate period, particularly the Sultan of Delhi, or in the Mughal period, and even during the British period. There were the different structures which had been established at certain level of administration and having a different or the varying nomenclature, but the underlying crux was the same, that is the districts. In simple words, it is important to clarify to you that initially it started with the revenue functions and the maintenance of the law and order, if it was there. Since the ancient periods, size of the territorial jurisdiction, that depends. It was comprising of some villages. During Mauryan periods or the Gupta periods, it has enlarged. During the Sultanate period or during the Mughal period also, although there was a centralization during the Mughal period and it was quite complex and extensive arrangement of administration have been made. But again during the British period also, it started with the same, that is with the same traditions to collect the revenue. But over the years, as we discussed in another earlier talk also, that it has acquired many kinds of the functions which are not only related to the maintenance of law and order, revenue collection, as well as also relating to the provision of different kinds of the services, including the judicial matters also. So, it is a territorial jurisdiction and the services to be provided by the government or administration to be established to regulate the public affairs may be of any nature, that has been considered by different names in different times, but the same kind of the system has been established during the different civilizations or different kingdoms which have been there in India. After clarifying all these aspects, again we are coming back to the evolution of the office of the district collector. And especially it is worth to mention here, the Britishers made remarkable contribution in the field of district administration and the district. In 1772, let us take up some important landmarks. As for example, in 1772, Warren Hastings placed a district under a collector. By 1786, the district came to occupy a central place in the scheme of local administration. In the year 1829, some districts were grouped together and formed a division which was under a commissioner of revenue and circuit powers of supervision and control of the district. Later, districts were subdivided into subdivisions, each under a subdivisional officer. This invariably changing facets of the district administration also brought significant changes in the role and function of a district collector. The office of the incumbent is nearly 150 years old and donning the role of ruler and guardian. The first ever such attempt was undertaken in the Mauryan Empire, with distinct powers being provided to the district collector over 1,000 men. Similarly, in the Gupta Empire, it was Vishyapati who presided over the Vishyas with several powers. The Delhi Sultanate divided the kingdom into districts called Sikhs under the supervision of the Sikhdar. The chief revenue officer under the Mughals was the Amil or Amal Gujar, who performed functions related to law and order, justice, etc., which Britishers inherited. The breakthrough in the office structure and role of the district collector was cited during the pre-independent era, that is the British period, wherein it began with East India Company obtained the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha in 1765. Administratively speaking, the company's first serious effort at reform in the Diwani provinces was the appointment of covenanted servants as supervisor. Hope you understand covenanted and non-covenanted servants. Covenanted servants were those who were in agreement regarding their employment with the British East India Company, whereas non-covenanted were those who had not any such agreement with the British East India Company. After making distinction between covenanted and non-covenanted, in 1769-70, the covenanted servants were appointed to the several existing districts. The office of the collector of today was thus for the first time created by the government of Warren Hastings under the regulation of May 14, 1772, which provided for the appointment of such officer in each district. In 1773, the post of district collector was abolished. There followed a period of centralization of revenue administration. However, this system did not work properly and the collector had to be brought back in 1781, but with reduced authority. Finally, in 1786, a rational scheme was adopted, according to which districts were organized into regular fiscal units, each under a collector. In 1787, leaving aside a few districts, the collectors were also vested with magisterial power and could try criminal cases within certain limits. Lord Cornwallis did not favor condition of judicial and executive functions in one hand or in one person and placed them in different heads. The collector under the Munroe System became the real and effective head of the district and was responsible for the journal administration and the welfare of the people in his charge. It is worth to mention here, the welfare at the time is different from the present one. In 1833 and 1843, respectively, the non-covenanted posts of deputy collectors and deputy magistrates were created to provide participation to the Indians. The collector-magistrate system, which had kept changing from time to time, came to stay as a permanent feature of the district administration in 1859. This position continued up to 1919. With the introduction of diarchy in 1921, the institution of district officer had been reduced and his power and authority were limited. The inauguration of provincial autonomy in 1937 under the Government of India Act of 1935 diluted the collector's authority. He ceased to be representative of the British government and came to be an agent of the popular government. With the introduction of several schemes for rural development, especially during 1937 to 1939. The collector was put in charge of these schemes in the villages. Besides the problem created by the Second World War a new dimension to the functions of the district collector was added by the rural development schemes. Thus, we see that on the eve of independence in 1947, the collector had become something of a jack of all trades. The post-independence period marked the paradigm shift in the role and functioning of the district collector. As an office, it transcended through the cycles of alliance regimes to that of national governance. Thus, the manifestation grew significantly in terms of increase of powers from maintenance of law and order, revenue administration, to superseding the developmental activities in the district. The administration of district today is a combination of various agencies, namely police, revenue, education, agriculture, cooperation, industries, health and education, etc. Those are working collectively under various heads of the respective department for the common goal of the development of that particular area, that is the district. Herein, various agencies in a district are headed by the district collector or the deputy commissioner as the chief district officer manning the administrative prospects. Although there is no statutory provision pertaining to the aspects of district administration except Article 233 of the Indian Constitution, which merely defines district with reference to the context of appointment of district judges. However, the dynamics of district administration has been continual in its approach and facets over the years, but in recent and changing times, its nomenclature has found various changes. Corresponding office has transformed from colonial parochial edifice to a tool of democratic decentralization in the wake of community development, thereby increasing its manifestation with the growing needs of the people. The paradigm shift that came in the procedural aspect of district administration was with the advent of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, wherein the state government has vertically divided a district into various blocks, villages with horizontal distribution of various state government offices, that is social welfare, agriculture, police, etc., with the various urban and local bodies. Although there are some repetition of an earlier talk on the evolution of the district administration, but to understand the role of district collector in a changing scenario, it has become very pertinent to describe certain landmarks in the evolution of the office of the district collector. And in this talk, we have been able to pinpoint all those aspects in a very brief manner. I hope you have been able to understand how this office has evolved over the years since the Vedic period to the present day. With these remarks, I would like to thank you all and wish you a very, very happy learning. We will continue our deliberation on the theme of district collector in the next two talks also, in which we will discuss about the function and role of the district collector. Thank you all.